Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. Montreal police have launched an investigation into a mock beheading incident that occurred during a May Day rally in the city, Global News reports. Demonstrators used a guillotine to decapitate a papier-mâché effigy of Quebec Labor Minister Jean Boulet, an act that was followed by cheering and kicking of the figure. The incident has drawn widespread condemnation from political leaders, including Minister Chantal Rouleau and Premier François Legault, who noted that major unions quickly denounced it as an isolated event within an otherwise peaceful protest. Legal experts suggest the act could lead to criminal charges for a death threat due to the symbolism of a guillotine. The group responsible, the Workers' Alliance, defended their actions as a carnival-style performance, expressing popular anger against out-of-touch elites following job losses after Amazon's departure from Quebec. CTV News reports that an Ontario court justice has stayed a dangerous driving prosecution after concluding the veteran Crown attorney in the case lost her objectivity. The ruling stated that the prosecutor berated a police officer over his testimony, an act deemed detrimental to the fairness of the judicial process. This decision underscores the fundamental principle of prosecutorial impartiality and the high standards of professional conduct expected from legal representatives in Canada's justice system. The court emphasized that any perceived bias or inappropriate behavior by a Crown attorney can undermine public confidence in the courts and lead to a stay of proceedings, reinforcing the importance of maintaining integrity throughout legal proceedings. CTV News reports that the City of Toronto has initiated $200,000 worth of repairs at a long-troubled East York apartment building located at 500 Dawes Road. The significant cost of these repairs will be directly billed to the landlord, who has a documented history of violations and infestations at the property. Tenants, such as Bria Jones and Craig Smith, described living conditions as severely neglected, with some expressing shame and a desire to leave. Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow visited the building, emphasizing that this remedial action was taken due to the landlord's persistent failure to address issues, despite accumulated fines. She highlighted that this intervention, involving coordinated city services and pest control companies, is intended to serve as a model for improving substandard rental housing across Toronto. However, Cole Weber of Parkdale Community Legal Services and co-author of Renoviction and Resistance in the Capitalist City, expressed skepticism, suggesting that the city has a track record of being unwilling or unable to consistently enforce housing standards, and that this situation is not an isolated incident, but rather indicative of widespread poor living conditions for many tenants citywide. CTV News Toronto attempted to reach the landlord for comment, but received no response. CTV News reports that organizers of Shen Yun, the classical Chinese dance production, are urging the Canadian government to condemn what they describe as blatant foreign interference by China. Threats targeting Shen Yun performances have been reported globally, with recent incidents in Canada raising significant concern. In Toronto, several shows at the Four Seasons Centre for the Performing Arts were cancelled after organizers received threats. Similarly, the Queen Elizabeth Theatre in Vancouver received a bomb threat prior to Shen Yun's performances. The Vancouver police later determined it to be a hoax, allowing shows to proceed. Joel Chipkar, a spokesperson for the Falun Dafa Association of Canada, which puts on Shen Yun, stated there have been over 150 bomb threats worldwide, some traced back to China. He views these actions as a testing ground for the Chinese Communist Party to silence artistic institutions. CTV News reports that a wildfire which ignited early Monday morning near Cultus Lake in British Columbia's Fraser Valley is now classified as being held and is not expected to spread further. The fire, covering 0.5 hectares near the Jade Bay Day Use Campground, saw a response from 14 firefighters and a helicopter. BC Wildfire Service Information Officer Julia Caranchi confirmed that crews are making very good progress and the fire poses no immediate threat to structures, critical infrastructure, or public safety. The incident led to the temporary closure of Entrance Bay and Clear Creek campgrounds. Along with the Seven Sisters Trail, though other areas of the provincial park remain accessible. The blaze erupted after an unseasonably hot and dry weekend, during which 24 high-temperature records were shattered on Sunday, followed by another 19 on Monday. Authorities anticipate continued dry and warm conditions, leading to open fire prohibitions for coastal BC starting Thursday. Carancer urged the public to exercise extreme caution with any outdoor activities that could potentially ignite a wildfire. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.